Hello, welcome. Nature Infused Ash here, foraging with Bigfoot. Welcome. Guess I'll allow some to just kind of creep in. Let me know where you're from, tuning in from, say hello. Tonight's show, I guess, will be on the upcoming adventures that I will be taking into the wilderness to live interact or eyewitness a Sasquatch, and it'll be myself and another girlfriend, and then Leslie from Texas in, I guess, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So looking forward to that one because we had major success last year when her and I went out. So definitely looking forward to these ones coming up. Hello, Keith. Hello, Melanie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to, the show will probably be all over the place because I can never keep it on one topic. But I guess I wanted to start on how to strengthen your connection so you can have a live interaction or eyewitness a Sasquatch. And really, it's about connecting to ourselves, right? So allowing that density to leave so we can go in and out of dimensions, and not us, but so we can eyewitness that kind of stuff. Anything new? Well, I guess that's a loaded question. With Sasquatch, only just mind speak, really asking where they want me to set camp up. And really just connecting and really getting the energy of, okay, light it up so I can see it. There have been some like just more mind speak and dream time things that have happened. I have been gifting, so nothing that it's until I go and take those gifts away that other things will appear. But anyways, just really strengthening my connection to, I guess, open up the heart, which is like the heart chakra, really engage into the spiritual body, which is the heart, right? Really connecting on what I was doing with the growth of when I had my major interactions with Sasquatch, especially when Jane pierced my heart. I really am getting back to that coherence so I can really call upon that energy and see what we can have when we're out there. Really have the urge of them whipping me into shape so I can get to the top of the mountain. I've had a couple girlfriends say that they'll go to a certain extent of the mountain and then I can continue on. So however that plays out, we'll see. I'm just glad I have an amazing team of supportive women that can help us on this journey. So hello, Kirsty. Nice to see you thanks for being here from Scotland. It's really nice that you take the time to bless us with your presence, for sure. All of you. Hello, the web puzzler. It's awesome. Should be fun. Absolutely. It will be fun. Last time Roxanne and I went out, we're the last people out at that research area. So that was in the end of November, beginning of December. And a lot of everything that we learned was they wanted us to look down. Like, because of what was happening, like we found really weird holes in the ground. There was a skip of snow. There was holes in the ground. There was rocks that were hot with no snow. Like usually when it's -5 out and there's snow, rocks will be covered, but they weren't covered. And we had a really powerful mind speak saying, you guys are all looking in the wrong place. You have to be looking down. And it's like just different topics I find that are talking about like lost cities, like underneath, right? The gold is underneath. What if the mountains, there could be, like that's where cities could be and stuff, right? So are we all like looking in the wrong places? And these are just things that we're trying to, messages we get, lessons that we receive, and really trying to work through them and with them and really going, yep, that works. Yep, that doesn't work. And when you're onto truth, I know for myself, ever since engaging with Sasquatch energy, is my left arm especially will like tingle and really light up. So it's like, yeah, okay. Um, that's interesting. So, yeah. Anyways, my question is the paranormal actually just normal? And we're just calling it paranormal, right? Been learning a lot about, yes, Mount Shasta is one of those places. Yeah, see, there's an underground in the volcano area, I heard. Me too. And then, like, there's a lot of stories that are, you know, around that mountain. And when we look at what goes on, at least in the habitat that I exist in when I go and coexist with them, is, hello, crept out. They are taking apart a mountain that has a lot of crystal, but it's like, I guess they use it for medicine. And it's Sabe or Bigfoot, Sasquatch, they're in this general area. So, and what I've also been told is, you know, they protect the gold, right? And, you know, the gold as in lava tubes, but you know, the gold is like in these crevices of where the river comes out of the mountains or the creeks and stuff like that, and underneath waterfalls. So, you know, are they protecting objects? Because, you know, humans, like I've been learning, we kind of went against natural law. And we have done a lot of things to the planet to hurt it. Maybe like not me or you, but there has been a lot of not so good things that have happened. And they want us to evolve so we can recognize that. They don't want us to see, Bigfoot doesn't want us to eradicate, you know, ourselves. Exactly. Atlantis, that's what, exactly. Yes, and to communicate with the crystals. Yeah. So that's where I got this totally distracted with questions, sorry. Looking in. So how do we know that they're not? I was also watching something, or was I told this story by an individual, that they were following a Sasquatch into a cave, and then it's like they totally blocked the cave off with big, huge boulders so you couldn't get past them. So is it because that's their passageway to get into their ginormous whatever is in that mountain? I don't know, possibly. Now I don't know if that was a documentary I was watching or if that was told to me. Sometimes it's hard. I don't know. Camping with Sasquatch. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you here. The abilities of Sasquatch have been written about the spiritual literature, even how to go invisible. Right, exactly. We can do that. We just have an ego that gets in our way. Sasquatch doesn't have an ego. Birds don't have an ego. Us humans have an ego that can really meet us at resistance with allowing these abilities to come online, right? So it's really lying down that ego and being like, no, I've got this, right? Because our mind is really just a program to keep us safe. So if we can really work through that and get rid of those mind and really question what the mind is trying to tell us, like even when we said, like I've always said, I'm going to be able to levitate. And then I may have hung around people that weren't as woo as I was, and it's like I could see my abilities come to a halt because my ego started to come in and be like, oh, you're meeting this. So it's really working at that mind again. I feel like I'm, you know, need to keep questioning that mind. Anyways, the ruler made a big mess. Yeah. Ever since we learned speech, we gained an ego. Right, and I can see that because, and everything else, you know, like subliminal messaging through frequencies and then flashes on the screen and stuff. If we were just out in nature and with the ability just to just be and do what our primal, I guess, right? Go back to primal where we just hunt and gather and do those things. But, you know, I do appreciate where we've come as a collective. Have you ever talked, so, sorry, now I'm going to go to question. Anthony Spatz. Hey, Ash, have you ever talked to or know Dave Pilates? No. He always talks about Mount Shasta with Bigfoot and aliens associated with one another. And, you know, like, I have never, well, I mean, I don't know. That, it can be everyone's experiences. Okay, so in another thing, I mean, maybe because I'm not really focused on the aliens when I'm out there, I'm more focused on nature and maybe what I can have as a live interaction with Sasquatch, that my perspective is kind of shut off to the aliens, right? So now when I had my interactions with Sasquatch when we were woken up at night, and Kim was the one that pointed out the little light beings, orbs, I wouldn't have noticed them. It was her that had to point them out for me to be able to see that perception of what was taking place, other than what I was seeing with Sasquatch, right? So just like back when you look at the Aboriginals way before time and the ships started coming over, they said there was a lot of Aboriginal people or natives that said, oh, people would be like, look at those ships, and a lot of them would be like, what are you talking about? And there's no ships there. But it's because their perception wasn't expansive enough. So I can, you know, and then even when Brian from Sasquatch Odyssey was out there, they were seeing UFOs in the sky. I didn't see any UFOs in the sky. I mean, if I was probably sitting in their group and not doing my own thing, I may have seen them. I did actually, when I was out with one of the ladies, they pointed it out. See, I guess I've just never have been around people or to really learn about UFOs and aliens and stuff. The first time I encountered, there was that green beam going into the sky. That was just not, it wasn't natural at all. So I can see Bigfoot, aliens, orbs all interlinking. You know, even with, they say orbs could be a way that we telepathically connect to them, which we can connect to Sasquatch. I mean, there's so many different things. And I guess that's where we have to lie down the ego, believe in ourselves, keep moving forward with our hearts wide open, trust, no believe, set our intentions. Yeah, well, see, he didn't see those. I'm sorry. The Web Puzzler talked about seeing lights at Radium. The only reason he saw those was because I pointed them out. We were driving in, and I was like, what the heck is that? And Gabby's like, yeah, what is that? So, you know, that is, those, yeah, that was the first time I ever went and had interactions with Sasquatch, is when I saw those green lights. And then the other thing is, it was a 13. It was a portal day. It was a high energetic day. So we went in on the 13th, with which energetically there was something happening. There was some kind of portal opening up. Saw the green lights. See, so I was part of a group that really was really good at questioning the mind, so we could like really let go of that ego and thrive through, you know, fear, right? Because if we can question that fear, when, let's say I see a Sasquatch, can I question the mind to put it at rest so I feel safe with whatever, you know, seeing and interacting with the Sasquatch, bear, whatever, right? So camping with Sasquatch. Oh no, let's go back up here. Melanie, maybe Sabe was hiding in the caves when the dinosaurs were killed by the toxic gases and stayed until the air was clear again, then lived with the first natives. Exactly. Now see, this is what I was learning today with the first natives, where Sabe would sit, and what they would do is they would transfer energy with the hands. Now, things happen with my hands the more I engage with Sabe, and the more I can open up my heart, really activate the energy and lose the density of my body. They come online. And I don't like talking about this, but when that other individual and I were sitting under the structure and they were giving, oh, this just drives me crazy. When they were giving him a message where they wanted to transfer something and I had to touch their hand to transfer an energy, it's like, how can I deny what happened there what's happened with Aboriginal people when they actually would engage with Sasquatch. And again, the reason why Sasquatch would engage with the natives is because they were open to spirituality. So the more we can be open and not question with our ego mind or scientific mind, because even science, it's ego based, right? Like there's just so much. So I'm really expanding with the energy part and really being open and spiritual again, and really connecting with the, reishi and chaga. Reishi is a really good heart opening mushroom, medicinal mushroom. Playing with shiny objects, playing with the devas, playing, again, the spirit of fire, the spirit of water, the spirit of earth, so it's the nature spirits and stuff, right, too. Is really engaging on how to connect to nature is how we can connect to Sasquatch. And if you guys, they want to, like, so okay, this weekend my friend wanted to bring another friend, and so I asked them, and they're like, nope, because we don't know. So if you want to have an experience that you're looking for, you've brought in this person out, you've gotten to know her, so we know her through you, so it's okay if you two come. They didn't want me there by myself, and then they didn't want all of us there. So I said, nope, it's either you and I, or we're going to have to press hold on the trip, right? So I really go with them wanting what they want from me, set my intention, really asking, okay, well, I'm doing this. It's that give and take. It's that energetic exchange. They understand this, just, like we do. Sorry. Okay, so camping with Sasquatch. That's interesting. If they literally have no ego, they'd likely be very misunderstood, which reminds me of how some say it's like they're autistic. Enlightened people probably see autistic. Yeah, interesting. What lights so it was like a big green, it was a green, it kind of looked like a spotting scope, but like, it wasn't, because it was green and it was going straight into the sky, or it was going from the sky straight to the ground. I'm not sure how that one worked, but it was definitely, very strange. And it wasn't Northern Lights, because Northern Lights are usually in the sky and making all these funny, like, not funny, but just designs and stuff, right? So, and then the green little lights that we saw when we were interacting with Sasquatch at nighttime. That's another thing. So they were just small little, they were small, like little small ones like that. And they were like a yellow green, along with the Sasquatch's green eyes, and then their energy telling me to hold where I was, because there was two of them on the right that wanted to engage with me, because they're always on my right. I don't know, they're always on my right, speaking on my right. Even when I was in different time space continuum and I went through that, they were on my right, and they said, you better get her out of here. And it's like they zapped me back down into our density, or into our dimension, where I went, holy, okay. So I don't know, there is an interesting phenomenon called mountain mystery lights localized. Interesting. Never heard of that. There's just so much, isn't there? Natives are more than spiritual. They are higher than you really think. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on which ones you speak to, because they're the ones that say, see, we're spiritual, this is why. And maybe back way in the day, we are definitely humans. I'm not going to touch that one. Camping with Sasquatch. Ash, do you think Sabe travel in the form of orbs? No. If anything, they're using them as a way to communicate to us, telepathically. No, because they can step in and out of dimensions just by that. Maybe the orbs are associated with the higher states of frequency and energy, so they're so see, like, I see, or like Sasquatch energy is like a lot of little orbs all together, like so much. And I'm not seeing the orbs, I'm seeing Sasquatch's energy, as if when they ran through the bush, I can see them leaving that light behind. So again, is the orbs just a way that we're going into higher dimensions and we're going to then encounter or interact with Sasquatch due to the fact that we are going into a different dimension? I want to make sure I'm making sure I'm saying this. Like, there's so much I'm learning. It's, yeah. So that's how I think. Like, I don't think they travel. It's traveling in the form of orbs. And I get a big, like, no. Because how is a Sasquatch there and then there's a bunch of little orbs there? And then that's it. Like, I've only ever seen, like, I've seen Sasquatch more than I've ever seen orbs. Like, travel through trees. Absolutely. Like, yeah. And using them as, and that's where I've had Shaka, the alien, tell me that that's what they do. And Sasquatch showed, like, they told me when we were standing there, and Brian from Sasquatch Odyssey is like, you're standing in a triangle. I was up against the tree and you could see this triangle. And I heard them say, if you stand here long enough and get into a meditative state, you'll be able to transport yourself to where we use this tree, to wherever their location is. Of course, I'm not going to know that unless I were to actually let go of fear, let go of ego, and try what they asked me to do. Or that's how I could, if I ever, you know, got to the point of being able to do that. And I mean, it's something I would love to work myself up to doing, but fear is an illusion. Absolutely. But you know what? If I teleport to somewhere, how am I getting back? You know, maybe like I would do it with someone like Leslie that's coming out in June, because she's been into subliminal spaces and I've been there with her and she was there. But I need someone that knows what these other worlds are like. And because you start to panic. Like when I fell apart and I looked at Leslie and said, I have no idea where I am, and I felt like my reality collapsed. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what people feel like when they're lost in the middle of nowhere and can't get out. Like, oh my God, like I was going to get sick. I was so terrified. I said, this is making no sense. I knew exactly where I was. So for me to all of a sudden feel that way was very weird. But that's because of everything else that was happening in the subliminal spaces, going through dimensions, through this time-space continuum. And then, you know, I was... If you guys ever heard of Brian Scott, he talks about it in one of his quantum jumping, whoop boom. Quantum jumping. Yes, exactly. So he talks about that kind of stuff and going through the quantum and being able to go through time space continuums and doing this. And, you know, nature being that quantum realm, because we're really engaging into all our senses, stuff can happen. And if we aren't prepared or have a knowing of it, it can get very confusing, which then sets in that fear will then set in for myself. And I think a lot of others, as soon as that confusion comes in, like you don't recognize where you are, you know, all these things that can take place, and it's intimidating. They crept out. They can also affect your dreams. They're definitely some kind of mind to mind connection. Absolutely. They've definitely come to me in a lot of dream time, being out there and being here closer to civilization. It's like they knocked me out on purpose or in dream time and were communicating as everyone was out in the bush walking around. It's like, no, this is how we're communicating with you, Ashley. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so active. It was like one of the weirdest things. One of the weirdest dreams. And then I've had some pretty cool dreams, and I keep asking them to show up in dream time. Where am I gonna stay when I go out, you know, in the next month? Where's my location? Where would you like me to plant and attract and work with them? And it's not allowing those other voices from people to go, oh, that doesn't work. It's like, no, follow your knowing, follow your spirit, follow all those things, right? You know what you know. You can't undo that. That would be, so Melanie, that would be, but humans have fear built inside from the beginning, and now we just have to be aware that it won't hurt us. It's hard, I know. Absolutely, right? It's that fight or flight freeze. We can really work with our nervous system, which I've been really on point with doing a lot of breath work, really putting that, finding breath techniques that can work if you're in a state of shock, like, oh my gosh, it's standing right in front of me. How can I come back to center? Like, really control the breath so then I can control the mind, really, because really, really, we can be free like a butterfly, is what Joe Dispenza says, if we can control how our body reacts. So if we can get that nervous system to cooperate when we're having these interactions that can create fear, then we can override the body, that body's addiction to fear, and really be in that quantum space in our minds and stuff, right? So not in our minds, but just in that energy. The web puzzler, if you're lucky, they will always be with you. Absolutely. Yep. And that's what I like. And as I know, it's sometimes challenging for myself, maybe not for you or others, when I'm in civilization, it's, the connection is not so physical. And that's where it's like hitting that block with, I don't even want to call it a block, that's like the wrong word. It's like that illusion, right? I'm not really talking to them, or I'm not really interacting with them, but yet there they are interacting with you. But when I'm out in physical form and they're live interacting with me physically, it's like, okay, yeah. And the ego can go, yep. But then see, it's irrelevant either. You can sit there and be like, oh, are you really seeing that? Is that really going on? So I've learned to really know what's going on with that. Meditation and talking to the source helps. Yep, been doing a lot of meditation and talking to the source for sure. And talking to the nature spirits. Really anchoring that in. Again, coming to this summer, I'm going at it completely different than I ever have for these past 2.5 years. More so when I started first live interacting, because I was not on the trail of Bigfoot at all, you guys. And they came to me, and like everyone says, they're connected to you. I have no idea why. And I go, why me? I'm just an average person. No, I guess because I've, all the experiences I've had, what I know is so true, even with positive thinking, creating your realities, even when people are like, nope, that person's dead. They're going to be brain dead for the rest of their life. This is what's going to happen. And you just know deep down inside, there's that knowing, like no other knowing, that what you're being told, what you're seeing is all a lie. Again, an illusion, like you said. And when you can see the bigger picture and communicate to source, God, universe, it's like, I can't deny people are alive due to the fact that I would not allow negative thinking, doctors saying certain things, and just butt down into research, and just knowing that we can create our reality. So I'm really going back and really strengthening that connection to opening up the heart, source connection, meditation, breath work, physically strong, doing the yoga, just really physically evolving to see where I can take it this summer, because I feel something big, and it's like, yes. And whenever I ask them, they're like, yeah, when you're ready and when you're, we're gonna give it to you. And it's like, are you kidding me? Okay, this is amazing, can't wait. And Camping with Sasquatch, I have to say, your content is amazing. I'm loving what you're doing, all the work that you're putting, boots on the ground. Shout out to you. Amazing work you're doing. I love seeing your progress. Like, it's amazing. Just mind-blowing what you're achieving. I ponder how they seem to be so incredibly advanced and yet growl and roar. So fascinating. Maybe they come into flesh to experiences, senses like for play. Similar how some say we chose the same. Interesting. See, but are they growling and roaring in a way to get your attention? Or are they like, I'm sure you would be able to tell if they don't want you in the area. Yeah, I mean, and if your intention is to hunt them, you're not going to get something. You're, it's not gonna work. And I know your intention isn't that, but I think, you know, the roars and stuff, I wanted that physical representation, that ego. They gave it to me. They gave it to me through my rock structures. They gave it to me running through the bushes and roar. I guess you'd call that roaring, whooping. Leslie called it. See, this is where your perception, and growling. But it's because they can't speak words then either, right? And we're not listening. Maybe they're getting upset because we're not listening. Telepathy, mind speak. Hello, we're here. Can't you hear us? Even with cloaking, they could be standing right there. And this one video I saw in that flash of beauty, paranormal Bigfoot. Wow, that was amazing. Like, people have brought this to my attention with my video, Alone with Bigfoot, where they're literally cloaking in the background and you can see the shadowy figure. And I was just like, holy cow. So it's really advancing our perception when we're out there and really getting those eyes. 1313. It's amazing. See, they're here with us. Oh, I love you all in the Sasquatch. You're amazing. But so growling and roaring, well, you know, because they've done that to me when I'm sitting there and I ask them for what, I want to see you, and then I'm like, nope, Kate, go back. No, I don't. And then they start running back and forth, growling and roaring. I say squealing deer, but Leslie says roaring. I'll say it was roaring. It was loud. And it's because I wasn't listening. They were going to give me something, and I allowed my ego to interfere with that. And they're like, frustrated. Doesn't mean they want to take it out on me. They're just frustrated. So just like an autistic child gets, you know, upset because no one's listening, and they act out. So I could see, you know, Sabe acting out in that way, but not acting out in a way that is violent. But if it goes to violent, well, then I would want to know what your intentions are. And, you know, they will communicate to you if you're listening and opening up your heart, and you can hear them, you know, like, put down that gun. Why are you carrying that gun? Step away from that person. If I go into the bush, I'm like, I have my phone in my pocket. So this is what it's going to be here. If you allow me to pull it out, and if I even remember to pull my phone out when I see you, then that will happen. But we have to have respect and communicate and have intentions and go from our hearts and gratitude and all of that stuff too. Kirsty, I'm so excited to hear your adventures this summer. I feel you're going to have the most amazing experiences. Yes, absolutely. I feel that too. So definitely excited for that. And then excited to really hit it with I'm not going to say that. Maybe not, because I want to go and interact with these other tribes, but I feel like a nope. So we're just going to not do that. Being in the source, coming from the source, transformative work. They were playing. Yes. Thank you, Ashley. So cool. You're welcome, Joe Mama. The Web Hustler. Do you tell them when you try to catch them on camera? Yeah, so what I do is I'll set that intention. Anne-Marie LeBlanc. Hello. I will. Like, if they want me to catch them on camera, I'll be like, can you? So again, it's that energy exchange. I've done so much, and sometimes I get so frustrated because, you know, I take time away from my family. So it takes, you know, gas. It's 3 hours of traveling. You know, it's a lot of work to go out into the middle of nowhere, set up camp, create the food. Like, it takes a lot of prep too to go and do this stuff. And it's like, okay, so what can I have in return? And if that's just me being able to physically see them with my eyeballs, that's great. Being able to hear them in the bush, being able to find their tracks and their breaks and stuff, absolutely, that is making my day. But I do ask them, I have my camera, if you allow me to take a picture, they will let me know. Because most times, you don't even think about your phone. You don't think about it at all when you're interacting with them. That's the last thing that's on your mind. I have I've left my audio on, and they knew because I communicated, and they, were popping on trees, and I have that. But, that's how I do it. I just straight up communicating with them, telepathy, through your mind, through your heart center, and going, and even maybe showing them in a way, like, this is my phone, this is, but they know, but it's just so there's absolute clarity, so they don't think I'm trying to hide something from them, because that's not what my intention is. I'm not there to hide anything from them. Thank you, Ash, for the kind words. You're welcome. I'm in a national forest with poor signal, so I have to rewind. Blessings to you. Blessings to you as well. Camping with Sasquatch. So awesome, the web puzzler. So, camping with Sasquatch. I'm a bit behind, but as I'm sure you know, I love the tangible sounds. Yeah, I want to hear the roar. I even tell them, but not sure I want it directed at me. But see, if it's directed at you, you will feel it. Camping with Sasquatch, you will freaking feel it. James, when she gave out that whoop, it was directed right at me, because that frequency penetrated my heart. That was vibration. I've never... Camping with Sasquatch is his channel, China Productions. It penetrated, so you knew. And this guy on that one show, he said, if that roars directly at you, you will feel it. I never knew anyone else experienced that. I thought it was just my thing. And it's like, oh, it's so cool to know that people have been out there and have experienced the same thing with them roaring or giving out a whoop, and the frequency penetrating your physical body. Like, that's amazing in itself. And, that's worth everything too. Like, woo! Can't you see? It's exciting. Camping with Sasquatch, I ponder if a sense of humor could explain some stuff, right? I can almost imagine them say, hey, watch me scare the pants off this one. Right? Exactly. And sometimes, a lot of the times when it comes to the males, I find the masculine energy, they want to play. They want that innocence to come out. They want to play, because the feminine can be more open and intuitive, just naturally being that, and they really want the masculine to be like, okay, yeah, I'm open to that. Oh, you want to play? You want to play hide and seek? You want to play this? Because they're doing the same thing with you. If they're sitting there to try to see if they can scare you, it is funny. I would find that funny too. Kids do that. Kids find it funny trying to scare their parents and stuff like that. So I don't want this to come off wrong, but it's childish games, but it really isn't. It's innocence, right? They're innocent. They want to have fun. You can feel it so profoundly that it's easy to become emotional. It's very authentic, right? It's true. It's true. You can feel it. Be your most authentic self. That's a topic I will not get on right now in this field. But no. Anywho. But yep. So this weekend, 2 nights, into the bush we go. Looking forward to it. And then in the beginning of June, Leslie and I from Texas. Camping does take a lot of work, etc. Like you said, yeah, it's so cool eating good food out in the forest. Absolutely. It's true. Yep. And we are bringing some pretty cool devices in June. We did play with one device a couple devices last year. And we allowed them to know what we were doing. Again, we communicate, we ask for their permission and all of that kind of stuff. Food tastes better outdoors? Absolutely. Sure does. I think it's because we work for it, just like we did when the hunter-gatherer days. Work for that food. So that's like me. Every time I eat, usually is only like once a day or twice a day, because your body's just addicted. Can we get higher than that? Yes. Walk around. Go for a walk for 10 minutes after you eat. It becomes more enjoyable, and the food will. I mean, of course it tastes better because we work for it. Anywho, the devices. Because last year when we used it, literally I never knew things like that existed. It was intimidating for sure. It was a device that could take what was being said to us. If you couldn't pick it up with telepathy or mind speak, it would come through this machine. But now I can't remember what. I'm still behind, but you're right. I want to feel the sound. It's so incredible how you can feel it like that, right? Exactly. Have you ever felt that sound camping with Sasquatch? Have you ever like heard them or had them growl or roar at you or whoop at you, and then felt that vibration of their frequency? Any of you? Have any of you? I would love to know. But see what devices. I guess, I don't know, they're paranormal devices, and I'm not really into paranormal, but I guess it's kind of paranormal, right? But what is paranormal actually just normal? That's such a good question. I believe so. And anyways, we'll see what, it's called the Ghost Box. No, the Ghost app it wasn't called the Ghost app. I'd have to look, and I can't see it on my phone. I'm using my phone. And I think I showed you it when we were out there, Kim, or China Productions. But there's two other devices that, there was also the EMF reader too, that we used, which was interesting, because you shouldn't get energy like that out in the middle of nowhere. So they're just cool little tools just to play around with when you're out there, and maybe that's why we had such great success. EMF detectors and infrared devices. What are infrared devices? Interesting. I don't know, I just go with my devices, my human body device. I'm gonna have to look into that. No, there's like a Ghost Box or something, and then something else. I can't remember what the other device is, but like the two new devices. The only reason I would know what they are or how to use them is because there's that paranormal group, that young group, and my daughter watches them and like, what, you're gonna be using that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, that's not fair. But I think it's gonna really help with some success. I really feel that. And again, we go with permission, and they're totally cool with it. They have something for me and for her, and it's gonna be mind-blowing, and I can't wait. I feel it, and I've been shown it, so I just gotta trust the process. They see the spectrum that we can't see. The device does. Like that infrared device is what sees the spectrum. I have an infrared light, but that's for my face, not for looking for stuff like that. I'm gonna have to look into that some more, because that's the only thing I've ever heard was my infrared light, or going to my infrared sauna. Camping with Sasquatch. If they are without ego, then even the adults would likely be like children. That could explain some things, right? But what's wrong with being that innocence? Maybe that's what happened, where we weren't supposed to have the innocence, childlike mentality, shoved out of us through the programming of school and fear and stuff like that. China Productions. Oh yes, I downloaded it, and it was talking all the time. I had to delete. Oh, that's hilarious. I will download it again when I go back out. That's funny. And so, to me, were you using it in a city? Because, like, if you're picking up, like, unconscious, not unconscious, but, like, beings of, like, ghosts and stuff, entities, no way, no, thank you. That's what made me go, oh my goodness. But the way it was communicating, and for him to go, listen, and I'm listening, and then for him to take that log and smash it against the tree, I was like, oh my God, how am I supposed to tell anybody what happened? That's crazy. You literally told us to listen, and he took and knocked it against the tree. Like, knock, here I am right beside you. I'm just like, that is so cool. But it was very, like, it was like mind-blowing, at the same time disturbing, because that machine talked, but the Sasquatch was using the machine to talk to us because we weren't completely open to listening. I got up and I'm like, there's something here, and I could feel it, I could hear it. They were trying to communicate something, but it was like, I don't know. You have to be loud. Ashley needs, like, loud. Like, when I ask for a sign, I go, I need a deer right in front of my face in the middle of the wilderness. A gentle animal that's not going to scare me. And then that's usually how my sign comes about, because it has, Ashley is very logical sometimes and physical, and I need that just to validate. But we shouldn't need any validation, right? Crept out. Great live stream, Ashley. Very interesting approach. Keep up the good work. See ya. I'm out. See you later. The Web Puzzler. One of Todd's better captures was with a heat detector camera. Huh. I don't know. He had a heat detector camera. Oh, I think it was in what was it in Les Stroud's video? It was at the end of the movie, maybe. I've watched that movie so many times, and yet I don't remember all of it. Oh my goodness. But I won't be watching that anytime soon. Camping with Sasquatch. I felt them talking at a distance, and I could feel that. That's cool. Same here. Anti-aging mask. Right? China production. No, I was using it at the site. Oh, out in Radium? You were using that out at the site of Radium. Oh, that's disturbing. Heard them talking. I've heard a mind-blowing story of people using a ghost box. Cool. Please share Camping with Sasquatch. Well, I mean, were they using the ghost box with Sasquatch? Because I'm really looking forward to accomplishing what Leslie and I have. It might have been the mouse in the trailer talking because she would not let me. Right? You just weren't listening. The mouse is like, oh my goodness, get me out of here, get me out of here. Oh, maybe they're entities. I don't know. There's some crazy people out there. I'm so kidding. Some people don't tend to learn their lessons, and if we don't learn lessons, I don't know. I don't go down that rabbit hole anymore because I'm done learning that. I've learned my lesson, and I got to continue on Ashley's journey with Sabe, because I have to be more on the open spiritual and get back to my roots of that. But that's interesting, because who was all there? So when Leslie and I used it, it was just her and I. There was no one else. Because, you know, people, they have entities on them too. Or leeches, or just certain things. So it's very interesting. But like I asked, was like, it's like, oh, these are picking up like if there's ghosts floating around, you're going to be picking up what they're trying to communicate. And that I don't like. Like, I'm not here for that type of paranormal. No. There was a group of people. Answers came in very clear, no doubt. Answering some stuff no one in the group knew. Yeah, cool. Can't wait. There was a group of people. Answers, yeah. Cool. That's cool. That's what I'm looking forward to get the answers that we got a few answers last year, and there's not a lot of what her and I shared just because of the messages that were coming in, the people surrounding the messages, what was going on with people just on her and I trip, being joined by people with the forest fires going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. So I'm definitely gonna ask some cool questions and see what comes about. I'm definitely going to be videotaping a lot more of videotaping, because what are we in the 1990s and 80s? Filming, is filming even a word? Recording, I don't know. Just having stuff set up. So a camera over here, camera over there on tripods, just to see if there's any, you know, and Sabe knowing exactly where they're planted. They're not planted, they're just going to be there. So all angles of our trip are covered, and then the surrounding areas are covered. So I can't wait to hear about your adventure with Leslie. Yes, it'll be epic. Just like I feel this one will be up, this weekend will be epic. With me and Roxanne, the web puzzler. You are doing such a great job. Thanks, Ash. You're welcome. Thanks for supporting. I mean, it definitely helps with support and community like you guys to keep moving forward and sharing the experiences and hearing your guys' experiences and your perspectives. Like, I love it. I just think it's an amazing community around all of this, and growing as a collective, right? And awakening humanity. As we all know, Sasquatch wants us to awaken so we can stop, you know, doing things that we're doing. Yes, agreed. Looking forward to hearing about your excursions. I miss that. Yes. So this weekend, and then the week, June 9th week. Yep. And we're staying in a tent trailer, so as long as Sabe doesn't go and play on the sides of the trailer, I'm cool. I'm ready. That could be intimidating. Intimidating for sure. But we can only do what we gotta do, and I just want to be up off the ground. Okay. Camping with Sasquatch. How do you camp? Like, do you just do day trips, or are you actually in a tent in the bush? Your channel is awesome. Very happy you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah. Anyways, when you guys go in the bush, how are you camping? Like, I used to be a tent, like, that's all I wanted was my tent. Now I just use the back of my SUV, because I find it would be intimidating to have a Sasquatch play with my tent. I'm a full-time tent camper. Good for you. So again, have they ever used, or not used, but ever scare you? Like, come and play with the side of your tent, or like shake it or something? Because that's what intimidates me. And then, yeah. Because I have been a full-time tenter my whole life until this past 2 years. I wasn't by choice, but I camp solely in known active areas. Tenter back of the Jeep now. Cool. And you're going, and China Productions, you're going into deep, vast wilderness like Radium when you're tenting, or in the back of your Jeep. Hey, feel free to come out. So you just decide to drive up here with your Jeep and go out with me? I'm so up for it. But, well, maybe I'll just go get some poles and stay in my tent. I'm not taking my trailer out. Just, no. Just makes no sense. They've tested my fear, I believe, but not once did they try to scare me. Okay, that's nice. Lucky to have a cabin habitation, going up to for 30 years with them since 2020. Nice. Yes, that's awesome. I've thought about making an off-grid cabin, buying land in a popular area here in Alberta, that I've been looking at right on the edge of Sasquatch habitat. As long as I'm well, as long as, you know, the tribes can understand the Sasquatch, that I'm doing it just to, I love that area. And Ash, they are tangibly courteous, loving, unbelievable. Okay. Okay, well, good to know. Okay, do you pack bear spray, or do you pack a weapon? I'm told not to pack weapons because the Sasquatch protect me. And I even had an energy healer say, oh, don't worry about that. Sasquatch is protecting you. It's like, That's why last year I don't think they were protecting certain people because of what was happening. So I do believe that they will allow. So if we're, let's say, camping in the bush and there's the men in black that go by, it's like they cloak us for no one to see. But last year, right before when Leslie was being dropped off, they followed them right in. It's like, that's weird, because they usually block the road from average people. I'm comfortable with them walking or crawling up to about 10 feet in front of me. That being said, a squirrel can scare the pants off me. Right? because yeah, they do that to me. Okay, good. I thought I was like, oh my gosh, Ashley, you're too jumpy. How are you going to be able to look at a 12-foot being? Bear spray, knife, pointy stick, pepper bag, and an air horn. Okay. Right, so that's what I have, is an air horn for cougars and bears, right? Just to give that I have a pepper spray, not pepper spray. I do carry a knife. I was gonna get like a, what are they called? Like a hatchet, because I feel secure with an axe, but it's just such a big object for me to carry in my hands. So cool. I'm on the same page as you, the web puzzler. Camping with Sasquatch. I would love to come down and go out with you. Like, that would be amazing. Like, go camping with Sasquatch. Oh, that came off a little weird. Ash, I have the exact same sentiment as the healer told you. Exactly. Right. Okay, cool. Air horn and bear spray, knife. Right. Okay, good. I'm on the right track. Because there's been a lot of bears. Like, it was like, what is the message of the bear wanting from me? The forest. And again, the breath comes in. So forest was a spirit. The forest collective came and said, no, really work on the breath. Really work on the breath to connect. And that's what the forest was saying. So that's interesting. Cool. Make sure I have my all my things in play. I'm so excited for this weekend. Anyways, I shall I'm going to make some videos of the adventures this weekend for sure. So bear with me. Depending on when I get back Sunday, I'll try to have them up. I'll have it up at the latest by Wednesday. A wildlife taser. Seems like overkill. Yeah. Taser the wildlife, right? That, yeah, I don't know. And I find that just not a respectful thing, right? Yeah. Also, I'm told carry a harmonica. Blast it to scare bears, etc. And Sabe love it. Harmonica! Huh, very interesting. My then 6-year-old, he was always playing the harmonica. Very interesting. Have fun. Good luck, Ash. Let me know if you ever are in Washington. Yeah, my goal is to get my passport and start connecting with and seeing some more land. So thank you for that, the web puzzler. Appreciate that. I could definitely let you know. But anyways, thank you so much. Nice to do a live remote in the bush. I can't do live. Ashley solo, other than with Roxanne, so I don't have Wi-Fi out there. It'll all just be video made. So recorded and then put up on YouTube when I get back into Wi-Fi. Would love to camp with you guys sometimes. Yeah. Cool. Anyways, thank you all for being here and joining this fabulous community. Thank you so much. Blessings to all of you. You all take care, and I look forward to next week and putting up some content for you guys. Take care.